All right, let's review quiz number 9. The first thing is on this topic of editing is that one of the great things about MIDI is you do not need to have lots of musical training, lots of practice in keyboards or whatever your controller might be. Musicians of any level can use MIDI, and this is a great way to manipulate and make things sound better than you would actually be able to play in real time. Yes, but that being said, then we go into comparing 4 different ways of inputting the notes into a sequencer and reviewing some of the advantages and disadvantages of those things. And the first thing is, right, as we say, you can play the notes, but it could be that you don't have as much musical ability. And then, yeah, it wouldn't sound as good. The more musical ability you have, the more likely you are to just play the notes in and not need to edit them very much. Secondly, you can draw the notes in. You can click and drag and put notes where you think they should be. The problem with that often is that it can lack a human feel. And we can work a little bit with that, with groove templates and quantizing and strength and sensitivity and randomness, but in general, you know what I mean, that you could get kind of a robot feel. If you're importing just loops, the hard part about that is setting up the right tempo, making sure they're the right length, and doing those things. It's getting easier and easier to manipulate those things, but you do have to understand a little bit and be careful how you use those. And lastly, there are processes where you can convert audio into MIDI, but it is difficult to digitize those sorts of things. And why exactly do you want to do that anyway, right? If the audio was good to begin with, then why don't we just keep the audio? Okay, good. So the next thing to do, okay, so if you've got a controller, if you are working on getting it on a new computer or with a new program, sometimes it will not work. And the first thing you need to do is go search out the drivers on the manufacturer's website. So I think this is becoming less of a problem. More and more things are recognizing each other, particularly if you are already connected to the internet, and it can find what it needs and load it up. Okay. If you record or create your project using the correct tempo map, having the actual tempo that the song is played in, it opens up the ability to use many more manipulation tools and editing tools, right? If you did not play along with the click, you're not going to be able to quantize, right? So if it's not in the right tempo, then copying and pasting gets a lot harder. It's a lot easier even if they were consistent, they were off with the click, right? We can cut and paste using the click, and it will line up in the right place, even if they weren't exactly on the click. Okay, and the last part, the conductor track does global controls. So we talked a few weeks back about those system common messages that went out globally. Those can show up on if you've got a conductor track. Pro Tools kind of hides it. Reason has one right up there. Digital Performer has one that's explicitly called the conductor track. Okay, very good, and thank you. We'll see you soon.